job looks really glamorous and exciting on TV and in the movies, private detective. But what's it really like? Well, this morning we're going to spend some time with local private investigators and find out what the job's really like. As you can imagine, they have some pretty exciting stories to tell. Maybe there's some they can't tell either, but we'll find out. Please welcome private investigators Scott Castleman, James McClain, and David Potter. Hi, guys. Okay. Is it anything, Scott, is it anything like it is on TV, being a private investigator for real?
In reality, no. In fact, we spend a lot of time dispelling the images of what people see on TV. A lot of things that are done on TV are illegal, unethical. But you know, I mean, some of the things are the same, but by and large, no. You know, I mean, it's Hollywood is to sell movies, to glamorize the field. We spend a lot of time doing reports, which then show 90% of what we do is reports.
Paperwork, yeah.
Paperwork.
Let's get to the good stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, so I want to know what it takes, though. What kind of personality, Dave, does it take to be a private eye? Do you have to kind of really know a criminal mind?
A little bit there. It's gut instincts, just doing your investigation, getting to know these people a little bit. A lot of it's gut feeling.
Okay. So, James, who comes to you guys for business?
I think people come to us, a lot of attorneys come to us. They want to find out what the facts are in a particular case, and they want someone to go out, gather the facts, talk to people, and then come back to them and report the facts. So most of our work comes from attorneys. We get a lot of work from small business owners who want to know what their employees are up to when they're not there.
Speaking of which, I know we have some video, Scott. Maybe you can talk about this. Video of a person stealing some money. An employer caught this person in the act of stealing cash, right?
Right. We're often retained by various businesses. Retirement homes is a large area of business for us, and we provided some video footage. We use these covert cameras here to place inside the residence room when theft is occurring.
So the employer walks out, and what happens is this woman bends down, and it looks like she actually takes the money and just puts it in her back pocket.
This particular
in full view of the camera.
Right. This particular video is of an employee stealing money from a safe in the boss's office there. The video clearly showed her going into the safe, putting the money in her back pocket, and these are the types of video equipment that we use. Obviously, we can't have, you know, big cameras in there. They would know, you know, what's going on. So a lot of our clients comes from retirement home industries and wanting to know where the thefts are occurring, and we show them where the thefts are occurring.
We've heard a lot about spouses hiring private detectives to keep an eye on their husband or wife. Maybe they're cheating.
Right.
That
is very common in the industry.
Really?
We've actually grown in our profession where we don't really do a whole lot of domestic work, but we've all had a lot of experience in the domestic field. That's probably one of the most common calls that a private investigator obtains is that of cheating spouses.
Well, and I got to believe by the time a spouse comes to you guys, they're pretty sure their spouse is cheating.
When they
just need to be validated.
When they tell us why they think the spouse is cheating, we often have to say, and you have to hire us.
Right.
It's painfully obvious that something is occurring, but they just want closure. They want proof, because the husband or wife will typically make them think they're crazy. Oh, it's not happening, it's not happening. And spouses can be convincing when you've been together with somebody for some time. So they retain our services to get the proof that they need or the closure that they need.
What's the most common way to catch a cheating spouse? Dave and James?
Oh, boy, that's a tough one. You know, it's just not like what you find on the TV shows of finding the surveillance with the, you know, a make-out session in the hotel room. That just doesn't happen. I think with the investigation is we'll find enough evidence to lead to a couple maybe going off together in a car, maybe going to one another's house. And I think as far as an investigative field, we find enough evidence to show that a couple is spending a significant amount of time, more so than what they're telling their spouse.
We gather the facts and we allow the video evidence for the client to make the decision of what's going on.
And isn't their schedule really important? You take a look at their schedule and decide where things might be.
Yeah, we create a subject pattern analysis based on information obtained from our clients so that we're not wasting the client's money. We get a whole lot of information from them as far as work schedules, what their hobbies are, what are their driving habits, what does their ATM receipt history and their wallet tell us. We go over, you know, 15 or 20 different things with them so that we can develop a subject pattern analysis in order to do surveillance, an effective surveillance that's cost effective.
We also find out unique traits on the vehicles when we're following them and what to look for in case you lose them in a series of vehicles. down busy roads.
Because we don't have a magic wand. We lose people just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm. I believe you guys put yourself in harm's way at times. So have there been any scary situations you got yourself into?
There's been quite a few scary stories. I mean, by and large, the field of private investigations isn't a scary or dangerous line of work, but obviously there's inherent risks with doing the line of work that we do. One case in particular, I mean, we face risks seen and unforeseen, and we can prepare for the seen risks by our training and by planning it out. A lot of times the unforeseen risks are the most dangerous of all because we have a plan for it. One case in particular, I was doing surveillance at a nightclub parking lot. It was early in the morning.
Got it right here.
I noticed that a fight erupted, and so I trained my camera on the fight, and it drew this mob of people. The club security was actually able to break up the fight, but it quickly escalated into a knife fight. The fight broke out again. As you can see there, they're swinging knives at each other.
And this had nothing to do with the surveillance you were doing, right?
That's what I was doing. And so unfortunately in this situation there was a large mob of crowded people in the parking lot, and one person had noticed that I was videotaping it, and the mob's attention quickly turned to me, and they weren't happy that I was videotaping this fight. So I had this huge mob of people shaking my car, trying to get me out of the car, but fortunately I called the police when the fight initially broke out. The police arrived relatively quickly, and conveniently the crowd dispersed upon arrival of the police. But those are unforeseen risks.
Yeah. Anything embarrassing, funny ever happen?
Yes.
Who wants to tell the embarrassing?
Well, a lot of things happen. One that I can share with you is I was conducting surveillance, and it just wasn't an area that was conducive to that. And so I ended up hiding in a portable potty on the corner of an intersection.
Uh-oh.
And it was really hot out. It was really...
Oh, nothing like a hot, stinky porta potty. Oh.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
Got inside, it was hotter inside.
Oh.
Nice and steamy.
Oh.
And so I'm in there about an hour. I'm standing on top of the toilet. I'm looking with binoculars through the screen, and I forgot to lock the door. And
it said vacant.
Well, it wasn't vacant. I was in there. A gentleman opened the door, and we had a look on our face. It was pretty embarrassing.
One guy with a camera and one guy that wanted to use it.
And I hope he's not watching now.
Well, I tell you what, let's stick around, guys. We got more to learn about. Coming up, we're also going to look at some of these great gadgets that they have and they use at their job as private investigators, like that little secret camera we were showing you earlier.
Oh, look, there it is.
Okay, we'll figure out how that works when we come back on AM Northwest.
Gloria and Super Seminole as a chemistry to up on the big screen.
Investigators Scott Castleman, James McClain, and David Potter here to show us some of the tricks of the trade. We have shown you the camera there, Scott. You guys have real small cameras you can hide lots of places, right?
Correct.
And then we showed this earlier in the day. This is a clock that has a camera in it too.
That's correct. That's correct.
You know, I would think that parents use these kinds of things to kind of keep an eye on their babysitters, that kind of thing, right?
People use it when they have house cleaners and things turn out missing in their house. They can either purchase these or rent these, and they can keep track of what happens in their house when they're not around. Or businesses use them.
You said elder care facilities use them
We
too?
do a lot of work for retirement homes who have, unfortunately, have thefts from residents. So we're hired to come in, place covert cameras within their rooms and catch the other residents or employees who might be taking things from the residents' rooms.
Wow.
And show us this kit you have here.
This kit here aids us in identifying suspects. We have a variety of different powders, dyes, liquids, sprays that we use that we put on the marked money. We put marked money in the room so that we can identify that room as ours.
So if they thought somebody was stealing money for them, you put that in a drawer.
And we have visible and invisible. This one is actually a visible dye. So
come on over here. Who do we have who's helping us out today? Chris is helping us out.
So for example, if we had this on here and he were to just grab the bill, then this is going to stain his hands. You can see going to start to stain his hands, and then this is going to be, this is going to last, it's going to turn brighter and brighter red. It's going to last for about 3 or 4 days. Yeah. The more he washes his hands, actually, the brighter it gets.
Really?
So
that's one way to prove that, that an employee or somebody is taking stuff.
Right.
Chris, thank you.
Yeah, you're guilty.
You're guilty.
And you don't even get the $1.
Here, you can keep it. It's no good to me now. I don't want to touch it.
And you also brought, you do a lot of work with counterfeit products. A lot of people will hire you to figure out, some people are selling stuff at
That's
prices
correct.
for the
We work for a variety of different designers, name brand designers, who frequently have counterfeit products on the market, and we actively pursue those counterfeiters on the streets of Portland.
That's not a Gucci?
That is not a Gucci. That's labeled a Gucci, but it's not a Gucci. We're trained to spot counterfeit purses, and we request seizures on those products.
So the counterfeit purse parties I like to go to, I'm kind of in trouble.
Right, and we've been watching that.
Oh.
Remember this camera helmet?
Oh, great.
We also have watches. There's a counterfeit Tag Heuer watch, Rolex, the NYPD hats. We have some Nike sunglasses. The watches, that right there is about a $2,500 watch if you were to buy it retail, name brand. But at various locations you can buy it for $40. We've also seen the street vendors selling these products for $40.
Yeah.
Rolexes.
And the NYPD, just because they're so popular.
The NYPD is part of a foundation where all the profits of the hats go to support officers who have lost their lives.
Oh, gotcha.
And so they have to be registered through the NYPD Foundation, and so those are not.
So let's tell folks about your business. Okay, you guys are private investigators, and you also have a private investigator school in Oregon City. The phone number is on your screen now, 503-650-0009. What's private investigator school like, guys?
Well, it's fun for us. It's fun for the students. We have several things. We teach the basics and the fundamentals of investigation there. Some of the classes, surveillance operations, theft investigations, in interviewing, interrogation techniques.
So if somebody was interested in getting into the business, that'd be a good place to start.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you sharing the stories and the tricks of the trade, and good luck out there.
Thanks.
Do it for them before they work out there.
There's Betsy Dixon from Desperate Housewives and the serious actor from 2014.